Hey, what's up? This is Altruism here. There's no better excuse than the onset of winter to update the sneaker rotation, as well as the idea of unboxing something nice and cool being a great way to forget about the nightmare world of 2020 for a few minutes. Of course, we are all about the new releases here with technical looking things, performance sneakers, sneaker boots, anything winter appropriate basically, with a few cool new collabs thrown into the mix too. More importantly, the emphasis is on stuff you can actually buy. Not only does that make the video more valuable, of course, but it means we'll be going off the beaten track a bit more from some of those popular things that all got bought up by the resellers. I certainly hope you'll see something new at least, because we'll be looking at 15 plus different sneakers on this list, and who knows, with Black Friday around the corner, maybe some of these will end up on sale too. What's that? Did somebody say list? That's right, and when we create nice big lists of things to browse through and keep an eye out for potential sales, we of course use ShopTagger to help save time and money, who are very kindly the paid sponsors of this video. So if you want to know exactly how that stuff works and how you can organize your shopping a little bit better, then listen up. If you don't already have installed, get yourself the ShopTagger browser button. You download it through the Chrome App Store thing, so you know it's all legit, and once it's finished downloading, a world of easy shopping awaits, because when you're browsing your favorite retailer, the little ShopTagger button will come join the party, and you can use it to save whatever you happen to be looking at in your preferred size and color, as well as a discount threshold, so you can be notified via email or push notification if you have the app, if it drops in price or if it comes back in stock. For easy organization, you can also categorize things in different lists, which is exactly what we like to do in these videos. Also, when it's checkout time, ShopTagger scans for coupon codes at the checkout to help save some extra percents if you're using the desktop version. And there's a cashback feature on selected retail partners like Louis Via Roma, like HBX, a couple of other sort of luxury fashion destinations that you guys might be familiar with. That's going to help give you a few dollars back in the PayPal account after you blow it all buying cool new clothes. If you want to give that a go, there's a link in the description, and don't forget you can download both the desktop version and the app for maximum ShopTagger dollar saving potential. And now we'll take a dive into our winter 2020 sneakers list. First up, we've got a pretty fresh pair. You might remember last year there was a series of Nike Air Force One Gore-Tex variants. Well, there's new ones coming out. As I record this, they're not out yet. They're coming out on the 29th of October. So these are going to be a brand new option. They're coming out in a couple of different colors. I like the green ones best personally, but you may prefer the all black version if you're a criminal. There's highs coming out as well, although we don't seem to have a release date for those ones yet. If you prefer slimmer looking running shoes, then there's a new Gore-Tex infused variant of a Pegasus shoe, the Pegasus Trail 2 GTX. Super wearable silhouette, super wearable colorway, being all black obviously, and although there is a quite large Gore-Tex stamp, as they seem to love doing these days, at least it is tonal, so it's not quite as outrageous as on some things, and it just looks like it's going to get the job done from an all-purpose winter wear perspective, without you necessarily having to put too much thought into it. Asics have used Gore-Tex and waterproof variants of their shoes quite a lot recently, and they've also been stepping up the number of collabs they've been doing, so let's take a look at both of those areas. First up, the Gel-Nandi Hi. I think this is a great example of a sneaker boot for me. Still kind of looks like a sneaker, but is so significantly beefed up, and this is in fact a 20th anniversary reimagining of the original. Really nice color as well, going to go very nicely with those earth tones, and it's the kind of thing that is still going to look really nice after it's been kind of thrashed and it gets all nice and muddy. Brown on brown, it's tonal. And they're still going to give you that sneaker level of comfort thanks to the gel inserts in the midsole, which you'll find in, of course, pretty much all of the Asics shoes. But if that's a little bit too practical looking for you, then there's a recent Asics and GMBH collab. These came out in two colors. The black and cream version doesn't seem too available anymore, but there's a kind of off-white and cream version which is still hanging around. I really like the kind of interplay of those two colors. They're using the material switch-ups as well between those, and the left and right shoe are non-matching, so you've got the colors flipped over between those. And I think it's a really interesting effect, and it's a unique looking shoe for sure, but especially that off-white and cream one. It's still quite kind of subtle because those panels are tonal. You almost don't notice at first that each shoe is so different and everything's flipped over. So yeah, I think that's quite a cool reimagining. And then sitting between those, you've got a Gore-Tex infused collab, the Asics and Affix Gel-Kinsei GTX. I like the fun colors here. They're clearly a very kind of technical performance looking shoe. If you recognize them though, that might be because they were used in the more recent acronym product shots. So if you want an endorsement of these being suitable for tech wear, then there you go. Roa are a performance shoe brand, not historically known for producing fashionable products, but it seems like more recently they're moving more into this space and being picked up by fashion retailers and used in fashion circles. The Minaar is a good example of that, I think. You could definitely see a brand like Asics making a shoe that looks fairly similar to this, but of course being a performance-focused brand, you are actually going to get something decent for using on the trails and in all kinds of situations. Vibram sole going to give you that big durability as well, and these seem aesthetically like the kind of things that would be appropriate both out there on the trails and wearing in the city as well. If you like the idea of Vibram sole though, but maybe you think those are a little bit too practical or whatever, then of course look no further than the Balenciaga Vibram 5 Fingers. Yeah, I mean, need I say any more on these? These look absolutely ridiculous, of course, but I like the idea that they're taking something that is purely designed for performance originally and turning it totally on its head. I bet they're really fun to wear. They certainly look kind of weirdly springy. Converse, like Asics, has been busy this season pumping out both interesting collabs and winterized versions of their regular shoes. They have the Runstar Hike, which, well, looks like they just slapped some extra sole on the bottom of their shoes and called it a day, but they do have some cooler options as well. You've got the All-Star Terrain and the Bosey MC GTX. Both of those do kind of look like a beefed up version of the Chuck Taylor, but done so in a more cohesive and I think just a better looking way. They're not too offensive. If you like Chuck Taylors, you're probably going to like these, but they're going to give you a greater level of performance and a greater level of appropriateness for wearing with kind of more winter-ready outfits. And then on the collab side, you've got these Feng, Chen, Wang ones. I like how they've taken that Sakai-like approach here. They've doubled up on some of these bits. They've added shoe to the shoe, basically, but in a way that's a little bit different to the Sakai things, and I've not really seen exactly something like this from Converse either, so it's a bit of a unique option, and I think it's much more cohesive than, you know, those hike ones where they just slapped a bit of sole on there. It feels like a total reimagining. If this aesthetically is maybe a little bit too much for you, which is fair enough, Converse also have a watered down version where they've gotten rid of those doubled up materials and the kind of recast version of the shoe, but they've retained the contrast paneling and those different tones there. So if that's the element of the shoe that you like, but you want a more wearable version, and a cheaper version as well, let's face it, then that's an alternative you could consider. There's a new soloist collab too, the ERX 260 Hi. They're all white, so yeah, they're going to get pretty dirty, but I think these are quite fun. And they're certainly a beefed up version of a regular Converse, so I kind of like them for that reason too. You might remember Snow Peak's collab with New Balance last season. Well, they're back with a new performance-focused tag team. This is called the Niobium. The thing that I like about this, actually 3 shoes in one. It's like a hiking boot, you can kind of zip off the top bit, it turns into a mock, and then I believe you can pull out the inside of this and turn it into a slipper. So you're getting a lot of shoe for your money here. I think transforming stuff in general has the potential to be pretty cool, and I like the idea that this makes them suitable for multiple scenarios. You wear them out in those kind of harsh conditions, out on the trails or whatever, and then when you just want to chill, you can just zip the top off, and then they become this nice comfy mock. They are a little bit expensive, they're like £250, I think about $300, but these could be a really cool sale pickup if in fact they do end up coming down in price a little bit. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for these. Reebok are not always seen as a super fashionable brand, but the Premier Road Modern I think is a little bit of a sleeper hit. There was a collab that came out in pretty limited numbers earlier this year with Kangyuk, which is an all-black version, and then they released a all-black non-collab version, and now there's some different colours that are starting to become available as well. I quite like these blue ones, but I've also seen all white as well, which look super nice, very, very clean, but still have the complexity of all of those different panels. A little bit like a more wearable and more kind of mainstream version of the Balenciaga Track 2. They've got a new collab version with Kangyuk coming out as well, the Campinos. Don't know how wearable these are going to be, but they do look tasty. Another Reebok collab, the Chromat Instapumps. Love the different colours on these, they are so vibrant and so crazy. Definitely got some Presto Lava energy here. I feel like I talk about Instapumps all the time, but yeah, these ones definitely feel like the top tier for me. They're pretty fun. One more thing, Salomon Snowcross Advanced. Previously, if you wanted an all-black version of these, you had to get a BBS version or the Soloist version, because the regular ones had a blue heel at the back. Well, now they've got a regular version of all-black ones. So if you were holding out on that basis, then now's the time to pick some of those up. They look pretty cool, very futuristic, gonna go with your techwear stuff. just perfect. And that rounds things out for this video. Everything's going to go in that shop tagger list, and I'll probably stick 1 or 2 other things in there as well. But if there was something that caught your eye, definitely let me know down there in the comments. And perhaps more importantly, if you think I missed something that's come out this season that you think is being slept on or super underrated or just looks really cool, then definitely stick that in the comments below, because that's going to make things super helpful for everyone involved. If you enjoyed the video though, please do give it a like, it is super appreciated, and of course, as usual, we will be back next week with another one. Recording this video before last week's is out, so I can't do shoutouts unfortunately, but a few people now have asked me, like, how do I go about assembling a techwear outfit? How do I decide what goes with what I should be wearing in any one situation, stuff like that. And while I think that question is maybe overcomplicating things, it could still be an interesting topic or something to talk about. So if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely let me know, and that's something that I can look at creating into a fun little video. Thanks for making it all the way to the end though. If you want to catch some more, there's going to be links going up at the top, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then definitely consider doing so, because there's going to be cool new videos like that potential one I just described coming up every week. There's going to be new reviews, we're going to be picking up some new sneakers, all that kind of thing. So stay tuned.